Okay, so students, after you have placed those pattern tapes here, so you can see that some of the area I would like to keep it rough, just like here, the overlapping part, because I like the style. As you can see, the edge, it creates a very raw style here. However, maybe some of the part, for example here, it is out of the boundary, right? The head line is here, but the tape I have overlap on it. And also for the top line, I would like to create a fine wave lines here. So now I'm going to show you how we can create a fine line by using the cutter. So if you have a cutter at home, it is a blessing for you, because if you want to create the fine line, you can just lightly cut along the features, the feature line here. For example, the hat here, that's got a feature line. So I cut it slightly because I just want to remove the tape instead of the whole paper. So afterward, then you can very carefully just tear off the tape. Then you can see that the line it creates now, it is a very fine curved line. So same concept and same skill. So for this line as well, if I want to create a fine wavy line, so I slightly cut out the tape. So you have to bear in mind, because the tape, there's some parts that I have overlap on it. So that is 2 layers of tapes there. So on that area that you may need to add more force on it in cutting it out. So you can cut it part by part. So I will prefer to cut it in a, start with a small area first, so that you can see the effect, it is successful or not. So some of the time you may need to be patient in it, because it needs a very fine craftsmanship here. So you can see that after I cut it out and I tear it slowly, then the tape will be smoothly come out from the drawing. Okay, so now we are moving to the bottom half of the model. So here I have already finished my patterns. However, I would like to tell you some details of it. So again, I would like to create a contrast color. So I keep the bright orange with the a darker blue with some planets patterns of my tapes here. So for the background and the sun here, I just tear the tape into very small pieces. So if you don't have a tape at home, you can also use any magazine papers with those color that you like or image that you like. You can also combine them piece by piece in order to form a big surface area like me. And for the rest of the part, can you see the flames here? Actually, I use color pencils to draw it. So for this part, it is not difficult. I believe that most of you are familiar with it. And what you can do is you can just draw those details. If it is not easy for you to use tape to do it, you can just use color pencil to draw it. And I believe that you should be able to mix color, right? So instead of using just single color, again, I'm using my contrast color to mix the layer. So you can see I use orange and purple to create the flames. And I would like to remind you, when you are making the collage, maybe the tapes of the paper cannot fill up all the gaps between your drawing. So you can see there's some very thin white lines here. If you found this occur in your drawing, you can use your own color pencil because they are thin enough to color the rest of the part. So it is a very detailed and important steps to make your drawing looks high finishing and to make it in a complete work. So when you fill up the gaps, you will see the whole drawing will look more complete. Okay, so students, I would like you to use more materials for making the collage and make a fine drawing in your model.